Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Milk Eggs.
And a whole lot of tea.
My name is Brandon.
And I'm Allegra.
And we are here, another episode. With, who do we got today on the podcast?
Who do we have today? We have a country singer.
Yes.
Here in Nashville.
Yes, born and raised in Nashville.
Born and raised. And it is Levi Hummon.
Levi Hummon, everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the pod.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So not only did I grow up in Nashville, but my parents' house is legitimately a mile from this. Like, this is where I grew up. Like, my hood is Hillsborough Village.
This area.
Yeah.
So you drove past this building every day, pretty much?
Yeah,
every day.
actually, I had like a personal trainer in this building once upon a time.
Oh.
So I've been here before.
Okay.
And never upstairs.
Never upstairs, just downstairs.
So this is new territory. Well,
Yeah.
this area.
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
territory.
Well, y'all,
Cool.
we're back in the studio, as you see,
Yes.
right by Levi's home.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a couple questions. His place of residence.
Yes. Don't
And-
find me anyway, please.
We'll give out
Don't.
out the address right now. But we have a couple questions to ask you.
Awesome.
Some fun questions. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get started.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So you're all about music, right? So do you remember the first time when music didn't feel like a choice? Like it just had you, and what was going on in your world then when you were like, it clicked? This is what
First
I'm doing.
time, so not a choice, as in like it felt like a passion and like a like my calling kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I grew up in a musical household. My dad is a songwriter. He wrote songs like "Blessed Broken Road," "Cowboy Take Me Away," all those big '90s country songs.
Wow.
And so for me, a lot of times music was around. I would pick it up as a hobby, but it really felt like my dad's thing. It was like his job. So growing up, I would dabble in music, but I never really pursued it as a profession until I went to college, got my heart broken, and then it became a calling. I was like, this is what I'm here to do. And also, I was trying to get my ex-girlfriend back. So
That sounds like a country song already.
yeah,
It
it became. Yeah, I was
does.
like, I was trying to win this girl back, and that's what it became a calling. It was honestly heartbreak is what made music kind of my passion.
Wow, first heartbreak.
Yep.
And did you write? Is your song out about that first
Oh,
heartbreak?
no, that was like my first song I ever wrote. So that song will
gotcha.
never see the light of day.
It's
but
in the
So it's
closet still.
retired.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But what it did is it brought me back to Nashville. So I was in college down in Florida. I was going through a breakup, writing songs, sending songs back to my dad in Nashville. And he's like, "You're from Nashville, country music capital of the world. Come back here and start writing songs. Like, try it out."
Yeah.
So I transferred to Belmont University, became a songwriting major, ended up writing songs instead of going to college, and then got a first publishing deal, and the rest is history.
That's what's up.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. All right, so now I did like a deep dive, and I was like listening to your
God.
albums.
Yeah.
I told Brandon.
She was
I was
creeping.
like, I have to, let me just look and listen to some albums. Now, the wedding song.
Yeah. Wedding dress.
The wedding dress.
it's so
That's it.
good.
I kept saying some wedding song. I was like,
see you in a wedding dress.
Oh,
oh,
yes.
that's all. I was going to get some more. Okay. So I do have a question. Your album came out September 2024.
Yep.
Titled Bet on Me.
Yep.
What made you choose that title?
Well, it was a single on the little so it wasn't a full album, it was an EP, which is like just like a mini album. But that song was our like single, our go-to song. I also it was my first real song under my new label that I'm signed to called Redefined Records. And so just so everybody out there knows, I just signed a new record deal with Kevin Jonas Sr., who's the dad of the Jonas Brothers. And so
We dropped
We
in
are-
gems.
Good
Good job.
we're
Congratulations.
working on a full-length album right now. We're about to put out a ton of new music. But this was kind of like the first song in this next round of music. And I felt like Bet On Me was like a really cool title because it's like, you can bet on me to always stick around, be in music, be here. I'm not going anywhere. Kind of.
That just gave me chills.
It's like, I'm here.
I'm here and I'm
I'm
gonna stay
here.
here. Is what's gonna end
Yes.
up happening.
Yep.
Damn.
I haven't gone anywhere yet. It's been like 11 years since I started doing music. So it's been such a blessing, and I think this next round of this music and this next chapter is going to be really exciting.
Good for
And we
you.
can't wait. We cannot wait to see. And then I can't jump ahead because I have a question about upcoming
Jump
event.
ahead.
Yes, I can't. Okay, so if you could pull anyone in a studio, any era, any genre, any person,
Yeah.
what
Jesus, there we go.
what
Hallelujah.
Jesus already. What kind of magic would you want to make together? Something stripped down or something completely off the wall?
Do I get to choose a person also? Okay.
Anybody.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a hard question.
It is a hard
What is
question.
going on?
Yeah.
It's Monday. I don't even have to sip this coffee. I gotta take a sip of this coffee.
But also,
Just woke
as I
up.
was like deep diving on your recent EP, you had like Walker Hayes, Amy, I can't pronounce her last name.
Stroop.
Yes, and
Yep.
Sam.
Tenez.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So a lot of the people I feature, like Walker, has been like an amazing collaborator. That's how we met each other.
Yeah.
But Sam Tenez has that song. It's like super viral. It's like, "This is how legends are made." It's
Yes.
like on everything. So collaboration is like my favorite part of music. So this is an amazing question. It's also leading me to like think about every single artist that I've ever wanted to work with. But I would say, so growing up, being near my dad, who is super into music, and he's also kind of like a high level musician, really loves like Simon and Garfunkel type music and that stuff. So when I was a kid, I remember I was riding in his passenger seat, and they had those like CD things that were in like the what do you call
The
them?
visors.
The visor
Yeah.
CD things.
Yeah.
And so we were riding in there, and I remember pulling the visor down, and a CD fell out into my lap, and the CD was the Grace album by a guy named Jeff Buckley, who sang that song Hallelujah
Yeah.
and like all those really amazing songs. But I remember I looked at my dad and I was like, "What is this?" He was like, "Listen to this record. It's incredible." I used to listen to that record every single day, top to bottom, for like 4 years straight.
wow.
And I remember I was like 15 years old, and I asked my dad, "Can I see this guy in concert? Like, I want to go." And he was like, "This guy's dead. He like passed away trying to swim across the Mississippi or something like crazy." But I always thought to myself, I was like, if I could have a day in the studio with Jeff Buckley, it would be the best day of my life. And I would just love to like listen to his music and hear his melodies and hear how he works in the studio. So I would say Jeff Buckley and get to collaborate with him and make just like a weird album. Like anything just like completely left of center, not country, not anything particular, just like go for it.
The stuff that
what's
y'all
up.
would just be ripping and throwing.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be.
Well,
That's
if
a
you
great
hear
artist.
like Jeff, his song Hallelujah is actually a cover of a writer named Leonard Cohen, but that song like got made famous by the movie Shrek. I think
Yeah.
when I first
Okay.
heard it.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah,
That's
but
when I heard
that
it.
guy is like, if you like really want to dig in some amazing music, that record Grace is like top to bottom one of my favorite albums of all time.
I'm gonna have to go home and listen to it from top to
And
bottom.
also, if you watch his music videos on YouTube and all his stuff, it's like the ultimate '90s energy.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
he has like the collared shirts with like the open up to like down to the stomach.
Oh yeah, I mean, is he a decent looking
Yeah,
dude?
he's a great looking dude. Like,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay. Well, then I'll check him
That's-
out. You know what song that is, right? The Hallelujah
I have
song.
no clue.
Hallelujah.
I'm gonna try to think of it.
Oh, that's it.
I heard there was a secret chord that
Yeah.
David played and please
Yes,
the Lord.
okay.
You don't really care for music, do you?
That was the Shrek
Yeah.
one. That exactly where
Yeah.
I heard it for the first time.
Yeah.
I think was.
I mean, I'm surprised you got talent to even like hum that.
Yeah, that was actually pretty incredible. Do you want to?
Well, hold on. Give me this mic. Hold on.
I
Okay,
was
yeah, I would love
just
to. Is this thing one? No, I'm just kidding.
Got it. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so country is a wild and beautiful place right now.
Yeah.
We have
True.
Brittney Spencer, Tiera Kennedy, Shaboozey, and it's like a new wave. What gets you hyped about where things are headed, and what space do you feel pulled to carve out?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think I am country in a lot of ways because I grew up in the genre. I would listen to everything from like the Clash to the Gorillaz, like basically everything that's not country would be like my favorite kind of music. But whenever I'd grab a guitar to write a song, it would sound like the Rascal Flatts. And no matter what I did, I could like expand myself musically, listen to EDM, go through a Mumford and Sons phase. Doesn't matter what I did. When I would write a song, it would be a country song. And I think it's because it's particularly in my DNA and in my genes. That's why they call me Levi. Oh my God, that's so bad. I'm so sorry.
That's a social clip now. Thank you.
I love it. That's what they call me, Levi. Do it. Say it one more time in the camera. Just look in the camera and say
Levi,
it.
like the jeans.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I love that country music's expanding because I think what country music is, if you go outside of Nashville and even past America into like Europe and tour there, you find that they think of country music as just like an American genre. It's really a singer-songwriter American genre. And so being able to expand into places where it's not been before is really interesting. And I think that people are now finding how important it is to have great songs with great lyrics and a message. And so I think that I'm excited for the genre to be heard more. I think what that means is there's more space for everybody to be involved. And for me, it's like I come from Nashville, but I also grew up skating. I grew up in this counterculture world where I was like partying and doing all this other stuff, but it was never really that country. And so I think my space is, other than a great social media app, it's a place for me to like embrace my difference, like embrace that I'm not just like some guy out with a truck in a field, but I grew up kind of in the city, skating, doing all this stuff like that. And so like being able to bring my world into this place is cool.
That's what's up.
And then being able to tie them together too is what's really cool. Like taking your own experiences, writing about it, doing music videos, whatever it is, artistically, you're showing that creativity to everyone.
And I think it encourages people to be different, because I think if all we're trying to do is like get this top 40 radio single and that's all we're all trying to do and it's all going to be the same energy and the same sound, it's not interesting to me. But what's interesting is when people like Beyonce, people like Post Malone, these guys like come in and like create something different. I think it's epic and it's awesome and it's encouraging for me, because like it means I don't have to write in a square. I can write in like a giant canvas with like a lot of options.
That's what's up.
And you can write for a lot of people too.
Right. And that encourages like collaborations. Like you saw on my like 7-song album, it's like there's 4 collaborations on it. And so that to me is exciting.
Yeah. Speaking, kind of going along this, I skipped a question, but out of everything you've written, is there one song that ended up healing something in you while you were working on it? Did it catch you off guard at all?
Wow. Not to keep talking about my dad, but he is a songwriter, and we're talking about music, and so he's like my guru. Also my dad.
I was going to ask you that. It's like, is he a mentor to you as well?
He is definitely a mentor, and as I've gotten older, has become a really close friend. And so we like part of the beautiful journey of music for me and my dad has been like a closeness that it's brought us to.
That's what's
up.
up.
If you've heard me like throughout my answers, I've been talking about being like skater and rebellious counterculture. It's like I think in my younger days before I started writing music, I was very much like running away from my parents, and music kind of brought me back to my family.
100%.
And so that's where I kind of found like the beauty for me is like not just in like creation of music, but also like the reconciliation of like a lot of stuff that I dealt with in my younger years. What was the question again?
Oh, you're good. The question is,
you were great.
Sorry.
Out of everything you've written, is there one song that ended up healing something in you while you were working through it?
I think music doesn't just come from inside. It comes kind of, for me, it comes from like inspiration above and through you. I know we're on a podcast, so people can't see this thing I'm making, but it's like a beam of light hits your head and goes through your soul. And I feel like that's what music is for me. It's like it doesn't just come in; it's like it comes through. And I think music helps me work through every single one of my issues. I think music is my therapy. It's also my only way of expressing myself truly. Like, I think I'm like kind of awkward and stumble and like think in too much, but music is like really clear for me. So I think getting to write with my dad and getting to collaborate with him actually healed a lot of our stuff within us.
That's awesome.
And I think also we've gotten to write for my mom's organization, an organization called Thistle Farms. Which I'm sure we'll talk about later. But we wrote a song called Love Heals, and it literally healed a relationship for me with my parents. It also healed this community of people by giving them a song and a theme song, and it just goes. I can keep talking about it forever.
It just shows how music is powerful. Music is so powerful.
But then it's powerful, but it's also, you can see the people who it's bred and like it runs through your DNA.
It's a part of you.
Exactly. And like generational type thing too. And it's like, you're not just, you write to write, I'm sure, but you write to get a message out too. And especially like the song for Thistle Farms and things like that, it had meaning, and those are things that stand the test of time. That they're forever.
And I think it's important also to note that like I write for serious stuff all the time, but it's also important to write for fun. And like it's important to like get like, you have an idea in your head about a heartbreak, for instance, and it's like sometimes you just got to make it a song. Or sometimes you just drank too much the night before and it kind of inspired you to write this other song about drinking too much. But I think music moves you in like a ton of different ways, and that's what I think is amazing. And I think like going back to your question earlier, it's like the ability to have all these people kind of genre bending within our genre allows for more ideas and more inspiration constantly. So I think it's all plays into one another.
Love it. Love it. Levi, how much? Oh, go ahead.
Girl, are you about to ask the question with the word that?
Side note, we were practicing on this word that I cannot say today.
I got you.
I
actually don't got you. What is going on?
As a singer and songwriter, how do you
Differentiate.
There we
Ooh, that's a good
go.
one.
Between a song that's I could not get that word. I couldn't. For some reason I was like, I can't get that. Okay. Between a song that's yours to sing versus one meant for someone else. Is there ever a tug of war between like, should I keep it? But it's your truth and creating something for others to relate to.
Yeah.
Love that.
Wow. That's actually like a constant struggle in Nashville because you'll write a great song and you'll be like, the question is this song for you or do you want to pitch it? And so like a lot of times like I'll write a really fun song that I love and my publisher will be like, do you want me to save the song for you or should we send it to, let's just say Walker or Jake Owen or somebody like that? And I find that I actually get the most joy when somebody else sings my songs.
Really?
But then a lot of people get joys from when I sing my songs.
Yeah.
So like it's an interesting balance. I think if I had it my way, like I would sing 50% of my songs and 50% of the stuff I put out would actually be other people singing it. But the problem I think with that is that I tell a lot of my own truths like in my music, and I also I really write my music. Like I always come in with like a verse and a chorus. I'm not just sitting there kind of like a fly on the wall being like, yeah, that's a vibe. Like I always come in with like a piece of me, even if it's like a funny piece. But it's always hard for I think other people to relate to that necessarily. But recently, that all being said, I've written for like a lot of artists recently and gone into a room with the intention of like, I'm not writing for me, I'm writing for you. Let's like do something that's awesome. And that's been so fun and brings me so much joy. And I've had people like Tim McGraw record my songs. I've had Steven Tyler from Aerosmith record my songs. We just had a #1 in 32 countries with this Korean pop artist that just recorded one of my songs. Which was the craziest freaking thing ever. And,
international now.
Yeah, we have like 4 or 5 songs with artists that are coming out right now that I've written for. So that's bringing me so much joy. And honestly,
that's
like I get why my dad like kind of quit being an artist and like became a songwriter because like for some reason hearing somebody else sing my music brings me like this like I don't know. It's just it's a different level of happiness.
Do you, side question to this, have you ever written something and been like, wait, hold on, I want this back.
Right.
Please give it back. I want it for me.
Now, the funniest like experience with all that was actually the song Paying For It with Walker. It was like, one of the funniest days ever because obviously he featured on the song. But when we wrote that song, I remember like we wrote it in like 30 minutes and me and Walker looked at each other and we're like,
I don't even know. Wait, how long does it take to write a song?
I mean, the good ones, like honestly, like take like not that long, like under an hour, I'd say.
Wow.
And we'll sit in the studio, obviously, and like hash it out and like vibe. But like the chunk of the song was done probably, honestly, 20 minutes. Like we sat there and we're like, I'm still paying for it. And Walker's like, oh, the damn wazoo, that's hilarious. Then we like got like the rest of the song like in 5 seconds.
Oh my god. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when that happens.
Dude, well,
just to see it.
It was the funniest part about that whole experience was I had the idea of Paying For It and I had it like written already, but it was over these like minor chords. It was like really sad Paying For It, like I'm still and Walker's like nah. And then he just like played the swampy blues thing and ended up cutting it.
Damn.
But I remember like in that room we all knew the song was good and Walker was about to release or had just released the Country Stuff EP, which had like Lori McKenna, Carly Pierce, Jake Owen, and a bunch of like features on it, but Fancy Like was also on that record. And so he had just put that out and he was like, I can't release this, but if you release this, then I'll feature on it. So in a way, it was like a way for us both to be a part of like the song that we both knew was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then of course, like the next Wednesday, he does the dance to Fancy Like, and I'm just sitting there like, hey Walker, can we still be friends? Please? Like, please don't forget about me. Like, and now I've like totally used and abused that man. I'm so sorry, Walker.
Oh God, no.
He's been amazing. But that was a way that like we both wrote this great song. We both got to be a part of it. We're both artists on it, so obviously it was like interesting. And then past that, like I think if we sent that to Jake Owen or something like that, they would have just said no because they wouldn't have understood because it was like the write itself was the vibe.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And I wonder how often that happens. Like two people, or like you have a group of people that are vibing, having that. You're like, man, I have a great song, and then like. Boom, management comes in or somebody comes in, you're like
like they don't understand the song.
Yeah, and you're like, hold on, you have to
well, you've heard, not to be like too much tea, have you heard of the thing about like Cop Car with like Sam Hunt and Keith Urban, that like Keith Urban went and cut Cop Car and like but Sam Hunt wanted it for himself, so it does happen like all the time. That's like a famous lore story. I'm not sure if it's right, and also sorry Sam, like I know he if I hurt your feelings, but like that song, and that does happen all the time where people like there's a great song like oftentimes like there will be a great song like in the community of Nashville. You'll like hear whispers of it. Like people are like kind of like trying not to pitch it to people, but also kind of pitching it to people, and then they just try to figure out who's going to sing it, and it kind of is a battle sometimes.
Dang.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, if you write it, you're looking for a certain voice or like a certain
is.
sound.
Especially if you have like a voice in mind for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
And that would be
100%.
The even better part is when you hear a great song actually sung by a songwriter in Nashville, and hearing like how much different it is and how it affects you different. Like I remember Mama's Broken Heart. It was like a Miranda Lambert song, but it's like I cut my bangs with some rusty kitchen scissors, and like it's this crazy song, and it's actually up tempo and fiery. But I heard Brandy Clark sing it for the first time, and she like wrote the song, and when she sang it, it was like this like heartfelt, like slow tempo, really like angsty thing, and I was like in love with that version. And it's amazing like how much talent is in this town and how different everybody like internalizes a song, and great songs just like are just like inevitably amazing no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the biggest one, at least in my mind, that pops up is Dolly Parton and Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
she sang that song, and then when you hear Dolly sing it, you're like, oh my God. But then you hear Whitney, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
exceptional.
it's just a thing. Okay, so.
And Dolly Parton got 50% of it too.
And she make money off of that every time.
She's making money every time, and I spend that song
How many
a lot.
songs have you written?
I've written a lot, like especially. I mean, I've put out. So, my like claim to fame for myself is I was independent from like 2017 just until like last year, and within that time I put out like 41 songs by myself, and that streamed like over 250 million times. And so,
Come on.
like I've written a lot. That's like 1% of the songs I've written was 41. So if you do do the math, it's like 4,000.
Oh yeah,
songs.
I mean, I'm sure there's things that you have half written, or like
Oh, my
you
gosh.
started it, or you have a couple lines here and there, and just like it's crazy.
I'm very like prolific, and I love to write because writing, like I said, is like my therapy. It's even like I always write by myself, and when I do, it's really sad.
Yeah.
But then when I go to write, I like write these like happy, like really like just like goofy songs.
Yeah.
And so the amount of songs I've written is crazy. I am excited for this next round of music because I feel like these are the best songs I've ever written.
Yeah.
And I think it's like it's coming out soon, and just I'm counting down the minutes.
Oh, wait, coming out soon. Can you let us know when? Or is that still hush hush?
I have to be hush hush probably.
Hush,
Okay, I
Until
understand.
after the wedding.
But speaking of counting down and speaking
In
of
the
weddings,
The wedding songs. No, the wedding dress.
The wedding dress.
wedding dress.
So let's dive into the wedding plans.
Yeah.
So one, congratulations to you and
Congrats.
Kearsten.
Thank you so much.
Both of you.
We're
Less than a
freaking out in
month.
the best way. I know.
Aw.
It's 4 Saturdays from this past Saturday.
Damn.
Yeah, we about to get hitched.
Damn.
I'm about to-
Yes.
Oh, you're about to be married. You're about to have a ring on that finger.
Yeah.
I actually got the band the other day. We picked it up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank
Okay, so speaking of wedding, all things wedding, what's one thing that you absolutely won't compromise on when it comes to the wedding? Is it the food, atmosphere, or maybe sneaking one of your own songs into the playlist?
I don't want one of my songs on any playlist. I
Really?
don't. I was
I
like,
was thinking
if
about
she's gonna put
that.
it on there, I know she is. I would.
Oh, she probably
That
will.
might be
I
the thing I
would.
wouldn't compromise on, but it's too late for me.
Oh, yeah, you probably don't
I-
have to say.
I compromise on everything. I mean, she already knows what I want, so I feel like we don't have like any antithesis, like anti, like we're on the same page. I feel
Oh, that's
like.
great.
That's what's up.
So everything's pretty much been...
Yeah, it's been smooth. Like the only thing is like, in hindsight, 2020 is doing a destination wedding, which we're doing one down in Key Largo. I think it's what I dreamed of. Like she said to me, "I'll marry you anywhere," and I said, "I want to get married on a beach." And so it's my fault that we're doing this destination thing. But I think I'm so excited to be down there. It's going to be a dream wedding. I also like kind of wish just I eloped with her and then we ran off to like Italy or something.
God, that'd be so
That'll
fun.
be
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Because it is a lot. Like
it's
I realize that my whole life in music has, especially as like an artist touring, it's like planning big events and like or planning shows in town or planning this and this. It's like I feel like I'm just doing my job a little bit.
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the wedding.
Yeah.
And that being said, she's done 99% of the work. So shout out Kearsten.
I mean,
Love you, girl.
she know
We
what
love
she
you.
wants. Have you written a song about Kearsten yet?
Kirsten.
We we say
I said
Kearsten with the ear.
Kirsten.
Kearsten.
Yes. It's
Kearsten,
the hardest name
sorry.
ever because it's like it's
You need to learn how to say a word.
okay. First of all, her mom. It's so funny because her mom named her Kearsten, but spelled it Kearsten. And
Kirsten.
yeah, but she spelled it with an EAR because she thought people would always say Kearsten, because like
So
if she did the
cute.
I. So she put the ear in it, and nobody spells it like Kier.
Yeah, no one does.
Yeah.
I know.
And
Well,
so
because
everybody's
we
like,
have.
how do I? And now it's actually made it more complicated, so nobody ever knows how to say her name.
Okay.
I know, bless it, because I
the way
wrote
you-
it here, and then
uh-huh.
I had checked when we wrote this question. I was like 1,000 times on social media, on other things. I'm like, this is how you say it. And then I remember you saying her name. Of course, we went out to dinner with y'all and everything,
Yeah.
and I remember, but it was that. It was
Mm-hmm.
either Kearsten or Kearsten, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Just,
ear.
all you have to do is this Kearsten for me. That's how I.
Okay.
Kearsten.
Because our first like 3 days was like Kearsten. She's like Kearsten.
Kirsten.
Ears.
Kirsten.
Well, we love you, Kearsten.
Exactly.
So,
Love you, baby.
yes.
What was
So
the
have you
question?
written any
Oh,
songs?
wait, yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Have I written any songs for her?
Yes.
Yes, and they're so. I've written like.
What was that?
Yeah,
That
what
was
was that?
a-
I'm trying to like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to chronologically think because.
Oh, okay.
So when I met Kearsten, the last like 5 songs.
How'd
I
y'all
put
meet?
out-
I'm just a hopeless romantic. So how did y'all meet?
Oh my gosh! So she knew like a lot of the people I knew in
Okay.
town, and I noticed she followed me on Instagram, and so I slid up in them DMs, and that's
Okay.
what happened.
Look what he did.
But-
and he did it.
So
He did
we
it.
went on. She'll tell the story different than me. I don't care. We're gonna do my story because I'm on the mic right now. So she's gonna listen to this and just.
Why don't you
hate
put out
me.
a video rebutting this
This
story?
is what happened,
Excuse me.
Allegra and Brandon.
We're not going to go into like the dates that didn't happen, but we're going to know the date that did happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we like went on a date, and I knew she was from Wisconsin. I saw in her picture she liked Busch Light, and I knew she liked cheese. So I took her to this restaurant that had Busch Light.
You studied.
And I had like
What a man.
had cheese curds because I know people in Wisconsin like
God,
cheese curds. I found the
yes.
only place in Nashville at the time with cheese curds. So we went out. We ended up playing like shuffleboard that night at this like bar, and I was just like absolutely in love like immediately. I was like, oh my god, this girl is one different than anybody that I've ever met. And then like 3 days go by, we spend every day together for those 3 days. She like leaves for one day, and it's July 4th, and I'm playing a show downtown. It's like me, Cassidy Pope, and Old Dominion, and I invite her like. And I remember I've never been so nervous, not for the show, but just to see this girl again and be like, my tour manager, make sure everything's great in here. You guys, don't mess up. Everybody, what do they need? Where are her friends? Does everybody like I did everything like I was a psychopath. And even that night, it was just like a week later, and I was like I'm obsessed with you. I remember just saying that to her, and like the rest was history.
The rest
Wow.
was history.
And now look, y'all get married.
I
It's like
know.
yeah, 3 years. It's like it's flown by. It's also felt like for like forever at the same time.
Yeah.
Aw, I love it.
And then y'all's dynamic together too are just so cute. So fucking cute.
She's just like this. Bop!
Oh, I know. It is. But she just.
I mean, you
All the
need
babies.
someone to like put you in
Oh my
line,
gosh,
and you got your person.
Yeah, I need it. I desperately need it.
Mhm. I mean, I got y'all dogs.
Yeah,
The
we have.
doggies.
She had a dog going into it. I had a dog going into it, and then we combined forces and got a third dog.
Oh, wow.
Happens to be that the third dog is 200 pounds and is English
But just a
Mastiff.
bubbo. Just a bubbo.
200
she's-
pounds.
She's
I know,
a legit English Mastiff.
Hers is
Oh, wow.
big,
Yeah.
but she's so pretty.
Yeah, she's
I
a-
want to meet her so
She-
bad.
I should have brought her.
Yeah.
She just be like, she's also so lazy. She's just like walking here, just
The life.
She's like, I
so
just walked up
lucky.
the stairs, Dad. I gotta take a break.
there's nothing more tired than English Mastiff that's done absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, love it.
But yes, I've written songs for her. Where I was going with this somehow is that before her I was writing just breakup songs. Like every single song was a breakup song. And so like I remember sitting in the car with her and I was like playing her all these new music that I had, and it was still all breakup songs. And she goes, You're not having a breakup right now.
I know that's right.
Do something
I was
happy.
gonna ask you that
She was
too.
like-
Why all breakup songs?
Because I think like flashback to the very beginning of this podcast is like my first song that I kind of
Was a
started
breakup
was a breakup
song.
song, and I was going through this breakup to like get this girl back, and so like I can write a breakup song in like 2 minutes. Like you give me a guitar and I'll sit here and write you this fun breakup song, sad breakup song, doesn't matter. Breakup, I got it, I can do it.
Wow.
But she looked at me and she was like, "You're not going through a breakup anymore," and
She said it. Mm-hmm.
So for the last 7-8 months, the reason I haven't really put out music is 1, because we're working on the new music.
Yeah.
2, I've been pushing myself to write happy love songs, and not just happy love songs, but heartfelt love songs, because that's the stage of life I'm in. And it's been like a transition for me to be like, can I do this?
I can't wait to
But
hear
they're like-
it.
I say 2 of them are really about her that are coming out soon. Yeah.
Oh, I can't
Love it.
wait. Oh, I
Love
can't wait
it.
to listen.
But it's also hard to write a song about the person you love the most in the world.
Oh, 100%. Well,
And
I'm
because
sure
you-
you critique it.
Yeah, I'm just like overanalyze it because
Oh,
it's
for
like the hardest thing
sure.
ever. Is like, it is so much harder not just to write a love song. Sorry, I'm hitting this mic over and over.
The way I hit Brandon. I'm joking.
The way I'm abused out off camera.
Kearsten.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I can't remember what I was saying. But yeah, it's hard to
it's
write.
critiquing.
Yeah, it's just like it's. I want it to be like the best songs I write is when I'm not trying to be a perfectionist. When I start trying to be a perfectionist, it's so much harder for me.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in love.
Yeah. You're
Love
right.
it.
You were so right.
There you go.
You're right.
So beyond music and social media, what's a side of you that people don't often see but should know about?
Should they know about it though?
They really shouldn't. It's not their business. I was thinking that too. I was like, I don't think folks should know
As
about
we
this.
wrote that question, we're like,
Yeah, I mean, like, social media has become part of my identity randomly, but I really like started touring and stuff and was a musician 10 years ago. And I developed social media during the pandemic because I needed something to reach out to my fans. And then suddenly I realized, oh yeah, I'm OCD and a perfectionist, and like I'm good at social media because I will just be relentless.
yeah.
And so that became part of my persona, or like people like think of me as like a social media type guy, but that was never me. I mean, I was in town 2014 doing the same thing, just without Instagram or TikTok. But a side of me that people probably should know, I'm a huge nerd. Like beyond what you think is nerdy, I'm nerdier than that. Yeah.
Like, are we talking like
Pokemon
anime
Go,
type,
anime.
or what are
it's
we?
like it's more like fantasy, like sci-fi fantasy and stuff like that. So like
Okay.
Lord of the Rings, Star Wars,
Oh, that's
Avatar.
not bad. Yeah.
But it goes into the place of like I love all things sci-fi.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's
That's
not
not.
bad.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
that's
It's
not
okay to be a
weird.
nerd.
It's not
Yeah.
bad.
It's-
Okay, it's actually through my nerdity. I don't know if that's the thing. I've actually met some like the coolest, most interesting people in music
I
that I've ever
bet.
met.
Yeah.
And just like random obsessions with like just like random fantasy things have introduced me to people like, sorry for outing you, Sam Palladio, who's Gunner in the show Nashville. He's like become one of my
Yes.
closest friends
Yeah.
through my nerd habits, and then
Okay.
also just getting to meet like an incredible group of musicians, but also creators and people I would never meet like in other spaces. And so I've actually been really blessed to have Kearsten in my life who like embraces me being my weird side of myself, which I've like repressed and hidden for decades of my life. And it's been really amazing to have somebody in my life that supports like the stuff that's not just going out to Broadway and partying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like really wants me to just be happy.
Yeah.
You be you.
And it's crazy too. Like we all went through that, like in our 20s or whatever. Just like the part that you're trying to get to know yourself too,
Yeah,
like figuring out what the heck
absolutely.
you want, and then like as you meet people or like settle down and everything, you're like, whoa, I can't do that anymore. Or I mean, but you could still let your freak flag fly a little bit
Let's go.
and have that fun little nerdy side of you too.
I also let my freak flag fly at my bachelor party like 2 weeks ago, and I'm glad that guy's gone. I was like, I was like, he's fun, but he's old and
Like, I'm not
hurts.
him.
Keep him in Asheville for a minute.
He's dead.
Okay, so last question for you. One, thank you so much for being here.
Of course,
Absolutely,
it's
thank
such a
you.
blessing.
But let's talk about your mama, Thistle Farms, because we know, and this was something a lot of people, you guys know, we meet with our guests prior to coming to film to one, just get to know them a little bit more,
Yeah.
do all this stuff. Levi, as a lot of you may know or may not know, Thistle Farms, his mother created it, started it, powerful woman, powerful. Your parents are staples in this community.
Yeah.
So how has being part of that community personally influenced how you approach life in your music?
I mean, probably a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think one, kind of a mama's boy, so
Yeah.
that plays into that. I'm also like now, me and my dad are best friends too, so we're a very close family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I grew up with my dad being in music, but also with my mom starting this company called Thistle Farms, and it started as one candle in the back of a church, and now has become this multi-million dollar facility that makes candles for whole body, Whole
Amazing.
Foods, all this stuff, and ships around the world. And they help women with a history of drug abuse, prostitution, and sex trafficking get off the streets. They employ these women, and so I've seen these people and these women and these amazing workers, like all of their lives change. And so just being genuinely inspired by that has like led me to lead a different life than I think I would have if I hadn't experienced that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like what I offer, have been influenced by, and how I can relate to that is, you know, being inspired on the music side, writing songs for these people and their stories, but also the women before. So let me flash back real quick. So before Thistle Farms, what Thistle Farms did is it decided we're going to employ these women with these like hundreds of arrests on their records, with a history of drug abuse and prostitution. We're going to employ these women and give them financial independence so they can get their lives together instead of relapsing and getting back on the street. Yeah. So before they were making candles, though, my mom was hiring them to be like our cleaning ladies, our nannies, our like anything we could do to hire these women to be independent. So the women of Thistle Farms, the original group of women, were not only like members of that community, but they're also my nannies, my moms. Like they're the people that were raising me, and they were like straight up coming off the streets and like that. So
wow, I know, but
give them stability.
Do you still talk to a lot of these ladies?
Yeah, so Regina Mullins, she's one of the original graduates of Thistle Farms in the Magdalene House, and she was my nanny and my like basically like helped raise me when my mom was busy starting this company and my dad was touring. So it gives me a really unique understanding of like kind of what they go through, and also having experienced what the word relapse means at a young age and what the word drugs and seeing a lot of people go through like really hard times like definitely inspired me, and also gives me a little bit more perspective, I feel like, in terms of like how I want to help this organization. And as my platform has grown, I've always tried to make room for Thistle Farms within it, and like if I go away tomorrow in terms of my platform whatsoever, I still would just like idolize my mother in a healthy way, and also want to represent Thistle Farms in the best way.
Absolutely.
And you see that when you talk about it. Thistle Farms, like it just, I mean, it's in your DNA. It's
incredible work.
Yeah.
And helping so many people.
Yeah. And not only now, it's like not just local, it's global.
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody that listens to this podcast or watches this video is check out thistlefarms.org, because their work is amazing, and it's so much bigger than just Nashville.
Yep.
Oh my God, you
I
give me
love it.
chills.
And it's the best thing to buy for Christmas presents, for your Mother's Day, for Father's Day, even. It has everything. So go check it out.
That's actually a good idea. I might do that for Father's Day.
It's cute.
They got wallets. They got male candles that smell like that patchouli. Not patchouli. It's not. What is the one that I'm thinking of?
Not leather.
It's like leather. Oh my God, it's
tobacco.
So they have that. I'm thinking sandalwood.
Oh, sandalwood. Yeah,
okay.
Sandalwood's one of my favorites. Oh, okay. Well, then that's what I'm going to get Brian for Father's Day.
What?
Well, I'm going to get him a little candle. Yeah, dog daddy.
Okay. Anywho, I love Thistle Farms. I love how they do like workshops and just help the community and stuff. So good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
100%. Did my mom ever respond, by the way?
She did. I mean,
we got to get her on here.
We did.
Oh,
so
we do.
it was like she's available in a couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she's taking some time.
Yeah, she's
She's
a radical. That's right.
Yep.
She's doing her
wedding.
thing. Yep. Wedding.
I mean,
good for you, Mama.
Yeah.
Go and
praise my
enjoy
mom.
it.
Thank you for everything.
Yes.
And also get on this podcast.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, Levi, we've had so much fun with you today. Thank you for joining
Of
us. And any last closing thoughts that you want to leave our audience before we end this episode?
Just get ready for new music. I'm so excited for everything we have in our back pocket, and get ready.
Oh, where can they find your music at?
Oh yeah.
Everything Levi Hummon, LeviHummon, and I'll be pretty much gone for June because I'm getting married. But after that,
He's getting married.
He's back, and it's Levi like the jeans.
Levi like the jeans.
Stream on Apple.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. My name is Brandon.
Allegra.
And this is Levi.
And Levi, like the jeans.
Like the jeans.
Like the jeans. And we'll see you next time on Milk Eggs.
And a whole lot of tea.
Bye, y'all.
Deuces.